Hello everybody, Sage of Stone here with another replay. This time it's against Atomy Shadowcraft. This is a pretty special game for me because this was actually my 500th win, which, as you know, gets me the Bloodcraft Adept flair. I was playing with Control Blood today just because I've gotten pretty tired of just, brainless bat gameplay, which actually isn't really that brainless, but I mean it's just not as it's not my type of deck. I much prefer playing like more slow control decks, which I understand is not the way to play right now, given that D shift is ruling the meta, but I've thankfully not run into too much of that today. A lot of the AA3 ladder is mostly just people with nothing to lose trying to play memes or prey upon the people trying to beat D shift. So Control Blood actually works out really well at this particular point in the ladder. Though I fully expect once I get to Masters, I'm going to have to switch back to something a bit more aggressive to be able to continue laddering. He gets the turn 3 Peacock plus Atomy. As expected at this state in the ladder, like when you're this high up on the ladder, you just high roll every time, it seems. Like if you're playing like a deck like this, you just have the roll every single game. There's nothing you can really do about it. Um, but that's fine. I mean, my deck has a lot of stuff that I can do against Atomy, as you see. Like Atomy just instantly dies here to this trade, which, I mean, is in his favor. I had to use an Evo point, and it did clear his thing. But I mean, if you consider how much he has to put into playing an Atomy, he didn't have a staircase out or anything. Um, it wasn't exactly the greatest trade ever. I just take the time to Revelation his field here, um, which, doesn't really set him back any cards because Peacock is broken. But, it's fine because Atomy's card quality is pretty awful, to be honest. There's not really much going on for the individual cards. It's really mostly just like the two whammies. So I decided to go ahead and use my Evo point to clear this field. I want to start applying pressure, give him a reason to use his Evo points to trade and all that. Or, just do the Shadow thing and just lurching corpse it to death, because that's what Shadow does. Draw a bajillion cards, play a bajillion kill spells, and, sometimes drop their boss monsters. So he's drawing a metric ton of cards, and there's not really much I can do about that. Like, I pretty much just have to take everything in stride. I use Emeralda to blow up his Haunted Mansion because I know that that thing's going to put out a lot more damage than that Demon Eater. And as you can see, that's already one damage that it prevented right there. He gets the Frozen Mammoth and nothing else. So that's the danger of playing Atomy. You have to draw into those Frozen Mammoths sometime, and that is not a good time. Um, at this point, I am starting to feel pretty good. He overdraws his deck, which is just a terrible feeling. Um, he drops his second Atomy with the Mammoth this time and a bunch of on-death effects. So that's really freaking good. And of course he's skilled, so his Lurching Corpse gets the relevant target, and he does something really interesting here. I don't know why he chose to evolve his Goblin. He probably would have won if he had evolved Atomy. It was a interesting choice, but I just go ahead and Revelation his entire field again. He's down to 9 cards in his deck. He has drawn like a lot more cards than me. 13 more cards than I have. Soul Conversion, 15 more cards than me. this deck has way too much draw power. Like if Shadowcraft ever got like actually good card quality, like this kind of draw power would be unfair. Um, he's sitting at 36 shadows, so I know that I'm just living on the edge dealing with this the threat of the tyrant. Like he will have tyrant by now. He's drawn through so many cards. They probably play two of. So it's all about like keeping this mask down, keeping my life total threshold really high. Um, because there's really not much else that I can do about, you know, a tyrant. Which as I said, here it comes. But thankfully I'm not dead to it because I do have the Scarlet Saber, and I did have 19 life left after he um, broke my mask, so there wasn't anything too bad, and I was very lucky there and topped into another mask, which removed any possibility of him killing me next turn with another Deathly Tyrant, and he got the scoop. Um, Not pictured in the replay was the attempting to reconnect message. I guess he took it a little bit to heart coming so close, but I thought it was a very good game. We both ran through a lot of our decks, drew all of our bombs. I think that was a 3 Atomy game. I don't know. It might have been 2, but it had a lot of presence. Pretty good matchup. I enjoy playing against Atomy all the time. But anyway, that's all for today, and if you liked, please subscribe and tune in next time.